Hey, it's Diana from Wrap Your Baby, and this is a burp hold. Why is it called that? Because this is the position you put your baby in to burp them over your shoulder. Put them up on your shoulder and pat their back. Now, this is also a position that a lot of babies want to be in, especially fussy babies, gassy babies, refluxy babies. They may only want to be held up on your shoulder like this, where you can easily keep that soothing patting going if you need to or not. But sometimes a baby who doesn't like to be wrapped or doesn't like a baby carrier, it's really because this is the position they like to be held in, and your carrier is not holding them in that position. So if you have a baby who likes to be held in the burp hold, then this is something that you can do with a woven wrap, with a very short woven wrap. This one is a size 2. My base is about a size 5, so this is at least 3 sizes smaller than base for me. For those of you who are new, base size just means the size of wrap that you use for a full-length carry. So the other thing that this can be nice for is when you have a little baby who wants a view, because this baby can see all around behind me. They can be looking at everything behind me. They don't feel like they're oriented right into my chest and all they can see is cleavage, which at some point babies get tired of. For a while there, it's a perfect nestling place for them. So when you have an older baby, you can do a hip carry, you can do a back carry, you can have their arms out in a front carry so that they can turn more. With a little baby that's still very cuddled up, sometimes you'll get a little young baby who's already frustrated with not being able to see. So this can solve that very nicely. All right, hi to those of you jumping on. This is a burp hold. This isn't a specific carry, it's a specific hold. It's having your baby in this position on your shoulder in a burping position for babies who prefer to be held there and don't like to be held lower down or centered or in other positions. So I'm going to show you how you can do this. Woven wrap is your ticket to success with this baby, because this baby may not be happy in any other baby carrier until they get older. And that may not work for you because you may have things you need to get done now other than holding and patting a baby 24 hours a day. So if you have that baby, then this is going to be really nice for you. So this is a great carry for a small young baby. My demo doll has almost outgrown it, but we're going to pretend that she's a newborn. And here's what I'm going to have you do. You can see how much wrap I have hanging down in the front. If you're using a longer wrap, you can have more hanging down in the front. You don't have to worry about it so much. This size 2 is just perfectly long enough for this carry with me. So I have this hanging down almost to my knee, but not quite. And that's going to give it about enough length to go around my baby and then just tie over here past my baby. So that's the amount of length I'm looking for hanging over this shoulder. And the rest is behind me. So this is how we're going to start. And then we're going to do a twist here that caps the shoulder. What I mean by capping the shoulder is if it goes over the shoulder straight like this, that's one thing. But if we bring this bottom edge up and make it the top edge over baby, then we get this sort of triangular shape here that can go over the edge of my shoulder and keep it all in place. And it'll help to keep your top edge snug and tight, because the line of tension going around the top then becomes the bottom edge in the back. So it evens out the tension of the wrap in this carry. So I'm going to just do that little twist under my shoulder by reaching under for the bottom edge, which is easy to tell in a rainbow wrap, and bringing it to be the top edge. And you'll know you have it right because this edge here goes straight across baby like that, coming under this up and down edge, the purple edge. All right, so then you can pick up your baby and you're going to go ahead and put your baby way up on your shoulder. So they're actually hanging over your shoulder some, because that is the position that a lot of babies are most comfortable in. So it's not even, well, you could do it here also if that's what works for you. But a lot of times it's actually draped over the shoulder that is the position you're trying to get your wrap to emulate. And you can do that. So we're going to put baby there. Now, a newborn or little baby will be more curled up typically, so their arms will be sort of like that. Their arms can hang over your shoulder too, that's fine. And then their knees and legs will also be curled up like that. So that's what we're going to go for here. So I spread this over my baby, and I just need to grab the piece in the back and spread it across my back to secure it before I do anything else, because otherwise everything will just stay loose. So on my back, the purple edge is the top edge because of that twist there. So I want to make sure I've still got that purple edge when it comes around my arm. And I can put that between my knees for a minute, but because that's held, I can now pull and tighten this around my baby because I'm pulling on something that is held between my knees after it comes across my back. So we want this purple edge to come behind your baby's knees. You want to get your baby's knees tucked up. If they're a newborn, their legs are probably going to stay kind of tight together like this, not be too much straddled, but whatever is comfortable for your baby is what you're going for here. And we're just getting that nice and snug over baby. And then check, because you will have a tendency to accidentally move your baby lower down on your chest, which seems more natural. And it's like what that wants to happen with the wrap is to settle it all and center it. So just check that you still have your baby as high as you want. It can be up there or a little lower, whatever seems right. Typically you want her to be able to see behind you minimally. Okay, and then I'm going to take this out from between my legs and tighten it again. And I'm going to bring it on top of this other piece. So I'm holding this one here that came around my baby, and I'm going to pinch it now with this one coming over it. So that will hold it in place because it's pinched under this new piece I'm spreading that came under my arm. And I'm just going to spread this up over baby some. It's not going to get that high on my baby because it's coming under both of my arms. So if I do pull it up way high, it'll really just, see that curved shape it's making? That's really just slack that is going to be loose and can come down. So instead I want it taut, sort of straight across. So it'll go over my baby's bottom, but not that high because I have my baby so much higher than my armpits in this carry. So it really only goes over the bottom of your baby. So you're spreading that one a little. All right. And then I can bring it under my armpit to the other side. This one is still pinched in place here, so I had my hands free to work with this one. And now I want to check that my baby's still in position here. So let's make sure I've still got her where I want her before I finalize it. Let me find that red edge, pull it down this way, and I can pull any slack from this shoulder. Let's see, from this shoulder, I'm pulling it across my back here. All right, and then I can move it across baby and then pull on this side. Okay. Now I can further take this piece hanging out here and pull on this to pull any slack that's gotten into this piece going around baby after the shoulder flips. Now I've pulled slack out of both sides. And then check again that your baby's still on your shoulder. I'm telling you, it'll be really easy for your baby to accidentally migrate lower on your chest. So keep pushing her up there at each stage and then tighten. And all I'm going to do here is tie a double knot. I'm done. Now, if you had a longer wrap, you could go around your baby again. Whatever you want to do with a woven wrap, as long as your baby is secure and you are both comfortable and happy, then you are good. You don't have to follow any other rules. All right, so there's my baby in the burp hold, able to look over my shoulder. Again, your baby will probably have like their little arm tucked in more because this is for a young baby, this carry. But this doll has kind of large arms that want to splay. And you can easily pat the bottom to put them to sleep, pat their back if they are gassy, have reflux. If you expect spit up, just put a burp cloth on your shoulder under your baby's face. You could even tuck it into the wrap to make sure it stays there. And then you can go about your business because that'll catch it for you and you won't get messy. Hi, Kim. Nice, good. Glad you like it. Sheila, I'm glad you're here watching. Carla, this is a size 2 wrap. So I'm doing this with quite a small wrap. And let me tuck my baby's legs up more like a newborn would be, just like that. Okay. although it's not quite as important in this carry, having like a seat under your baby, because your baby's kind of draped over your shoulder, so their weight isn't on the seat or on the bottom of their spine there. So let's see. So Carla, it's a size 2 wrap. It's probably 3 sizes smaller than my base. I'm a size 5 or maybe a size 6, depending on the baby size. So it's 3 or 4 sizes smaller than my base. So it's a very small wrap. Sheila, I thought your first attempt looked great, but yeah, you could definitely try it this way. I know the first video I showed you was burp hold in a front cross carry, but I thought I would make a new video because this one isn't going to come over my other shoulder, and I think it just works better for the burp hold because you don't need anything over the shoulder. I do find having my baby on the same shoulder as the wrap, rather than trying to have them over here where there's no wrap coming over the shoulder, this does tend to keep them higher. So that's why I did it that way. But you can see what works for you. Tamika, thank you. Does it match my dress? I didn't even notice, but it does. It's awesome. You've made me feel really stylish and intentional. Natalie says, the pressure on the spine of baby, that's not a rule, that's physiology. The pressure on the spine of baby. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Natalie. A baby's spine should be rounded outward and not pressed flat. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to, and that certainly is true. If you felt that this piece here was doing that too much, you could move it down and just have it bunched behind your baby and have your baby in this one piece. But I don't feel that that's happening here, so yeah, I don't know. That's you can let me know more about what you're saying, because I don't really I'm not exactly sure what you're getting at, but I think we're probably in agreement, whatever it is. All right, so burp hold. Like I said, this carry is not called burp hold. It's this position baby is in that's called a burp hold. And any way you wrap to hold your baby in that position is a burp hold. I have done burp hold in a front cross carry. You can do a burp hold in a hip kangaroo carry. This, I don't know what this is. It's sort of like a hip kangaroo pass, or it's a traditional sling pass here in the beginning. And then this, it's almost like a hip cross carry, but with a twist, and with this one not going between the legs. I don't know. I don't always have a name for what I'm doing with the wrap, but this is a burp hold. It works. You can do it. It's safe and secure. If you are wrapping a newborn, you should be familiar with newborn physiology so that you know you've got them in good positioning however you are wrapping them. So one thing to know is that their face should always be clear. You don't want their chin to tuck down against their own chest. You always need to be able to fit 2 adult finger widths between chin and chest to make sure that their airway isn't closed, because their airway is like a drinking straw, sort of a tube that goes from their mouth down the throat. And when you fold a straw over, you know, that can restrict how much liquid can get through. Well, it works the same way with air. So you always want your baby's chin up. You do want their back rounded, and then you want their pelvis tipped forward, which will bring their knees up and contribute to that rounded back very nicely. So that's what you're going for. Tamika, yes, I'm glad that you enjoy that statement. Yes, so as long as you know safe baby physiology, baby positioning, and you're safe and comfortable, then you're good. One of the biggest things with a woven wrap is you want to make sure it's not got slack in it that's going to allow your baby to sink into a less than safe position. So you keep an eye on it. Your baby's right here, so you're not going to forget about them. So if they start to sink into a different position, you can see that you need to tighten things up and make it more secure. And it's not the end of the world if that happens. Just make sure you're on top of it. Any questions? Anyone going to try this? Does anyone have a baby who likes to be held up on the shoulder? I know that Sheila does. Anyone else have and that's why I'm making this, by the way. She brought this up. She wanted to know if this was a position you could do with a wrap. And I don't know of any other carrier that you could do a burp hold with. So it's pretty sweet. Your woven wrap is versatile. Unless anyone else has got anything, I'm done here. But if you try this, let me know. Post a picture. Tell me how your baby likes it. And I'll be back probably tomorrow. You're welcome, Sheila. All right, guys. Bye.